Synopsis.com, and I'm joined today by directors Jimmy Cork and Tyler Silbey, and they are the directors of a great film that has screened all over the film festival circuit in San Antonio and Houston and Austin. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Great.
Can you
Hey, thanks
give?
for having us.
Thank you guys for coming. One of you, can you give me the synopsis for Clarence Cuts Loose and what exactly people are going to see at the theater coming up in two places this Sunday at Austin Comedy Short Film Festival and August 13th in Houston Comedy Film Festival, summer 2022?
Sure. So Clarence Cuts Loose is sort of our twist on the college party movie. It's about Clarence, who's a college student on the autism spectrum, who's had a bit of struggles with his social life and suddenly reconnects with an old friend who begins to introduce him to the party culture of college, and in particular challenges him to shotgun a beer. And so, as Clarence gets more and more invested into this party culture, he begins to cut loose a little bit more than he probably should. It throws a lot of his life, his academics, his friendships into jeopardy, and he's got to learn how to pull himself out of that.
Well, what motivated you guys to create this particular film?
Well, it came, I think, from a mix of places because it was for a filmmaking class at Connecticut College. And so there was the idea of, as Tyler said, putting a twist on the college party movie. And that was something that came from looking at a lot of those party films and how the arc of the character was kind of weird. It was kind of like you saw this character learn how to party, but they didn't really learn about consequences. They didn't really learn about limitations, and it didn't necessarily seem like the most realistic message. And so there was kind of a motivation to try to ground that story a bit and show something that was about cutting loose, but also potentially some of the downsides of cutting too loose. And there was also the element that came a little later of wanting to represent a character who was neurodivergent, who wasn't the typical protagonist you'd see in a film like this. So it kind of came from two separate fronts.
All right. Well, what was the casting process like? I mean, obviously Gus Vaughn is nominated for the Best Acting Performance Award at Houston Comedy Film Festival summer 2022 and did a great job, but you had a whole team here. Where did you get your team?
So we made this film for a class actually at Connecticut College, and a lot of the people we got as cast and crew were just friends and classmates from school. Gus Vaughn himself, he's someone we were familiar with. He's also a student at Con, also in the film, and we wanted to get somebody who we felt like could represent that character as someone who is on the autism spectrum. And so we met with Gus just to talk about the film. We ended up offering him the role, and he knocked it out of the park for sure. And Charlie, who's our co-star, plays Neil, Clarence's friend. We were familiar with from a film that Jimmy made last summer called How to Tie a Tie. So we had connections there. He's the one person we brought in from off campus, and the rest we just found through the film department at the school.
All right. Well, here's another question for you guys. How did you, and you can both take turns answering this one. How did you get started in the business, from the beginning? Like what was your first step to saying, okay, I'm somebody with a good idea, to now I'm going to actually create some content?
Yeah, I mean, I've been into making videos since I was pretty young. I got a flip video when I was in like 4th grade. I'd make little short films with my friends. And then in middle school, I actually took an elective class and I made some stuff there. That was really one of the key experiences into like getting into it And then throughout high school, I made short films to promote like school events through student council. I was the guy that got to do that. And so that really, just the practice of doing that pretty regularly made me decide that that was what I wanted to do. And so once I got into college, that was really like the path I felt like I was on.
Okay.
Yeah, personally, like Jimmy, I've been making just little videos for a really long time. I was honestly inspired as a kid just by watching all sorts of YouTube videos and whatever people could come up with, just making something with their phone or their camera in their bedroom, whatever it is. I was inspired by a lot of just that simple stuff. I started trying to make my own little videos like that. And as I got into college, I thought I should give this a shot a little more seriously, try to learn the more technical aspects. And so I started taking film classes. And that's how I got to where we are now.
All right. So is there anything you learned from this particular film, good or bad? Just anything throughout the process that will help you with future projects?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging shoot. One of the things that we feel really proud of is that it packs a lot into an 8 or 9 minute runtime. There's like, I think close to like 10 separate locations in the film, and we shot it all over a weekend. There's some reshoots that we did later, but the principal photography was all over one weekend. And so there was a lot we learned just from me in our next film, the film we did after this, Banana Boy. We were more diligent about locking down locations because we did have some instances where we thought we were going to shoot one place, and then we found that that place wasn't really the best place to shoot, and we kind of had to work on the fly. And thankfully we had a cast and crew that was really up for that and made it really fun. But as the stakes rise with bigger productions, it's something that we wanted to learn from and make sure that we weren't just making it up as we go. So
Sure.
In that sense, locking down production and really scoping out exactly where we were going to be before a shoot was an important lesson.
Yeah, that's good advice. What about you, Tyler? Anything?
Yeah, I think like Jimmy said, just being more prepared the next time was something we really made sure of with those locations, and just getting a more accurate gauge of how long it takes to move all of our equipment, our cast and crew from one place to the next. I mean, there's a lot of like party scenes that we filmed, which were just one like actual Saturday night at our school, just going around filming stuff, and that was a lot of fun to film, but it was very hectic. We did not have everything planned out moment by moment, and so just locking down exactly how much time we want to spend on this stuff is something that we've done more going forward.
All right. Well, what do you have in the future? You talked about Banana Boy a little bit, and talk to me about that one.
Yeah, so Banana Boy is a lot weirder and crazier than Clarence Cuts Loose. It's kind of a sci-fi comedy, and we were accepted, thankfully, into the Texas Short Film Festival in San Antonio, the summer block, which is on July 30th, and that's actually going to be our festival premiere.
Oh wow!
We've had one screening at Connecticut College, but that's going to be the first screening at a festival, and we're really happy with how it turned out. It's kind of this blend of raunchy comedy and sort of more of a sentimental comedy at times, and then it gets kind of more in like an action horror element towards the end there. And so it really, I think, like Clarence, packs a lot into its runtime, and we think that it's going to really resonate with people. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback so far, and hopefully it has a long lifespan on the festival circuit.
For sure, man. You guys are running Texas from Connecticut to Texas. You guys are getting into everything. You know, and looking back at your scorecards, the judges are just always impressed. I think that there's a lot of, you know, just that whole fresh youth energy, that Animal House vibe, you know, that old school, you know, college kind of takes you back for an old cat like me. You know, it's looking back and having those college memories and kind of seeing what, you know, the young people are doing now. And just you guys really put together a good product, and it's no surprise that Banana Boy is doing well too, even though the concept is very different. So really, hats off to you. You're both very good filmmakers.
Thank you.
So let's see. Is there anything else at all that you'd like to add to this?
Well, we're really thankful that we've been accepted to these festivals, and hopefully we can keep at it. We really appreciate the environment that you guys have created for filmmakers. It's been great. It's kind of been a great world to be a part of, and you know, this is like our first real foray into the festival circuit, and it was really great to win back in the spring in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. That was just an awesome experience, and hopefully we get to keep being a part of this world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, it's Connecticut to Texas, not exactly what we ever envisioned when we were making these for school, but it's been really exciting to bring these to a different audience, and just to get more people seeing these, get some recognition for it. It's been really amazing. And like Jimmy pointed out, the award this spring, that was our first festival we ever attended. That was a really cool experience, and we're excited just to bring both Clarence and Banana Boy to more and more people over the summer.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and we appreciate you as filmmakers. There's something about a live experience, which is, you know, it's obviously getting a little bit harder and harder to do, you know, with the economy and just, you know, lockdowns and all, you know, always the worry about the social distancing, all those things. But, you know, I'm happy that we're still doing these live events this summer. I think that it gives a forum to comedy filmmakers like yourselves. I know that's not all you do, but there's nothing like the instant gratification of hearing someone next to you laugh at a film, and something that you created, and something that you're not sure it's going to work, and then you're hearing people, and it's really a fun thing. So glad you guys picked our festivals to showcase in, and I hope to see you at a future event. And just best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. You're very welcome. Have a good one.
Take care.